it took me a long time to realize that some of us have always attracted lovers who are forbidden, unknowingly of course, but these type of lovers keep us hidden from the public eye. These type of lovers never fully openly even talk about their commitment to anybody in their life. And these type of lovers, I don't care how long or short your relationship is, will never openly claim you. And I feel people like you and I, who have been in places where constantly we've attracted lovers who've never publicly and openly committed to us, claimed us, and more so flaunted us, while we are constantly flaunting them, and we're constantly calling a relationship a commitment, and the world knows about it. I think it's an us issue. Some of us are not ready to face it, and some of us have accepted it because subconsciously, now when we look back at our dating patterns, all of those failed relationships happen because we didn't expect to be showed off, subconsciously, of course. So while consciously we wanted this partner to flaunt us, commit to us, and be proud of us while we stand beside them, they did everything opposite. But it goes back to why did we attract that and why did we stick with it? Because subconsciously, even if we thought that we wanted all of this, we didn't think we deserved to be showed off. We didn't deserve respect. We didn't deserve commitment. We didn't deserve true, honest, loving man or woman who would claim us as openly. So we do the bit for them and ourselves by being overly present and being overly vocal about the relationship, while the person you're with, this man, this woman, is hiding you. This man, this woman is not claiming you in public at all. So it seems like you have a very private relationship between four walls, but outside those four walls, you and him will walk separately. You and her will not be seen together. So when you constantly attract partners who never publicly claim you and I, we constantly start to blame the whole relationship and think, oh, maybe I'm not attractive enough, or maybe I'm not this enough and not that enough to that person. But now when you and I look back, I think acceptance becomes a lot more easy. Well, it's always hard to be in a one-sided rejected relationship. However, acceptance of this relationship not being where it's supposed to be, probably because you and I in myself did not think that we deserved the relationship that we've always wanted. So acceptance of understanding that what we want is not something we innately believe in receiving was actually the problem, versus it being the guy issue, the girl issue, and the guy and the girl that we chose to be our partner when they were not there. It wasn't real for them. So it wasn't just one, or it was many, or it was just one or two or three. How many ever relationships that was significant to you? We've had situationships, at least I can speak for myself. I've had situationships who I didn't give a fuck about, still don't, but there was somebody I did. So if you were like that, where relationships that matter to you was not fully at a pedestal for your partner then or now, we just really need to sit and accept that maybe the problem is in us. Maybe the reason why we are going through a pattern of not being fully accepted by a person is because we have not fully accepted ourselves for who we are on the outside and on the inside. And maybe because we are not treating ourselves as soon as the opposite sex comes around, who you're attracted to, you suddenly move and bend and break according to his wishes as a woman, according to her wishes as a man. And how much ever independent and strong and decent you are as a man or a woman, that's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to Jezebels or people who are having one night stands over here. I'm talking to normal people who are having genuine relationships issues. When people like you and I tend to lose ourselves without even realizing that we are losing ourselves in the relationship, because we are in a dynamic where we are constantly, subconsciously craving this man, this woman's attention, because they won't fully claim us. And even if the relationship is new, you are somebody who only dates with an intention of getting married or committed. Otherwise, it's no for you. And they know that too. And if you're in a long-term relationship, you've just gotten used to the fact of being hidden. And one of the worst places to be is we are constantly hidden by this person who the world knows about, in our world at least, and they know that. And when we constantly bend and break according to their whims and fancies, and we are constantly thinking this is going to make him happy, that is going to make her happy, how many other years you have with each other? If that is the state of the relationship right now, or looking back, if that was the pattern that you've always had, we've always end up feeling like a fool. And it's not nice to be felt like a fool. And the person that you're dealing with at that time and moment does not have to take accountability for how you and I feel. And right now, it makes me look like I don't have any emotional intelligence, or I'm too tough. But I'm speaking this way to myself too, because still we don't have these hard conversations with ourselves, because not everybody that we attract in life wants to make us their wife or want to make you their husband, if that's what you're looking for serious relationships. And when we constantly get into every relationship thinking that this is going to be a committed one, this is going to be a serious one, but we end up attracting the same type of men, the same fucking type of women who will never fucking claim the relationship at all. And more so make you feel accountable for caging them in a partnership with you, subconsciously or consciously, to a point they'll bring up other men and women in the relationship, physically or just in their conversation. That's another topic. So if you're in a place right now where you are ready to accept that the reason why you and I, as a man or woman, have always had to take the shorter end of the stick, I've always had to feel like we are not good enough, we are less than, we are not being accepted, all our other friends are getting married, all the other men and women in our life who we know are trifling are still fucking making babies and having husbands and wives. We just need to understand these men and women have very different priorities in their relationship. So whatever is happening in that relationship is a whole different conversation between them two. But if men like you and I, women like you and I, who fairly had relationships where it was not toxic, but it was also never fully a relationship, and if it was never fully claimed publicly, when you always wanted commitment, you've always been somebody who's had high morals and integrity when it came to a relationship, when you were in a relationship. But when you are in a phase where you're ready to commit, and every time you've gotten into relationships, you got in at least with an intention of honesty, loyalty, integrity, commitment, because that's who the fuck you are. But then again, when you don't do the required self-introspection, the self-growth, if you've not gone inward, if you don't do healing, if you don't take inventory of your previous relationships, if you're not ready to come face to face with your own self, if you're still attached to your ego self, then this conversation is not going to make sense to you. This video is not going to make sense to you, because this is for people who's ready to accept their own flaws. Like I'm ready to accept my own flaws, because I was so desperate, maybe in my energy, because I was always ready for commitment and I've always wanted to be in love and in relationships. I always attracted people who didn't want to be in relationships, because subconsciously, because I was so rejected, I didn't believe that I was good enough. And so in my heart, I believed I wasn't good enough. But what I showed outwardly, and what I wanted, what I put out, was wanting to be in a relationship. But I attracted what I felt subconsciously, because life is all about fucking energy. And that's why you attract a lot of experiences in your life, irrespective of what you want, is how you feel, is what shows out in your reality. So when you're upset, things tend to happen in your life where shit doesn't work out for you. It's a domino effect. One thing goes wrong, something else goes wrong. But if you're internally just happy and joyous, you just have an amazing conversation with a stranger. You just have something nice happen to you. That's because you reflect how you feel on the inside. So when I used to get into relationships, and I've been single a really long time now, But when I used to get into relationships, I had to really change my pattern because I constantly attracted cheaters, people who are already taken, people who are already married, who fully pretended to be bachelor, single, and available emotionally. And therefore, my trauma, my tragedy of relationships began where I started having almost relationships because these men got the perks of a wifey from the get-go because I wanted to be somebody's wife. And I wanted the commitment in this man and this woman. So I started doing everything for this guy, and this guy gave me fucking peanuts. So if you're in a relationship and if you believe in traditional values as a woman or as a man, if you are carrying the entire relationship emotionally, then what's the fucking point? And I had to come to that understanding as to relationships is a two-way street, and how much ever desperately you as a man or a woman want to get in a relationship, want to get into commitment, if somebody else is not ready to claim you fully, openly, publicly, and sometimes even privately, we are always in a confused state of mind. What are we? Who are we? And if, say for example, the world knows about you, everything is hunky-dory, if there's ever a feeling that you don't know where you stand with the person, then you have made yourself available to this person to a point where you are way too desperate for something to be worked out with this human being. And that is being shown in his actions or her actions where they can't fully claim you because that's not how they feel about you. If a person is not fully claiming you, accepting you for who you are in their life, and if they're not fully sure about you, it's because they don't want to be sure about you or they're just not. But you, on the other hand, are doing everything 24/7 constantly, thinking that this is going to work, this is going to work. But take a step back and think, because it's right in this moment, you're building up a pattern between the two of you. Because now, if you're going to do everything without getting shit in return, you feel a void on the inside. So slowly and steadily, every day you're dying a little bit of you is dying in this relationship. Till you take a form of something that you think that this man, this woman wants, so that they could then openly claim you. But not in once do you take a step back and think, is it that it's my energy that wants this so desperately and badly? So if it was this man or any other Tom, Dick, Harry, or if it was this woman or any other Tom, Dick, Harry, you just want a commitment. You just want a serious relationship. And bear in mind, in the beginning, every relationship starts at a fucking high. And you and I have created a blunder where we get stuck in that relationship level where it was at a high. And therefore, we just forget about everything that has happened after the high went down. What is happening right now, if you're in one? And if you and I are not ready to accept that this relationship is taking the form of every other relationship we were in, and if we've not taken the time to be single, first of all, taken the time to go inward, if there was somebody significant to you, and if they are repeating the pattern of what those other Tom, Dicks, Harrys have done, that hurts you and I. And that's when we really never let go of a relationship where we break our backs to the T. And some of us today understand how much of a significant a man or woman was or is to us. We love ourselves so much more now that we will never put up with being hidden. Now we'll never put up with somebody not claiming us. And now we will never get with a man or a woman who does not show any consistency. Very easy to start on a high, like I said. But what is their consistency level? How have they showed up every day in the relationship? How did they show up in the past in the relationship? However short or long it may be. So many a times we live in a world where there are hypocrites saying, oh my God, I've been with him for so many years. I've been with her for so many years. So that's why the relationship is so important. Fuck that. Time doesn't mean shit. People can do the same shit over and over again for years and still be together, and people think that they're fucking serious. It's comfort. And more so, it's like, what would the world say? I'm not talking to those people. But people like you and I, who are still interested in being with somebody on a committed level. But now we don't randomly date. We don't randomly have relationships. We don't even feel the need to get into any kind of situationship. We don't need validation from the opposite sex. We just don't need any of that. Come correct or don't fucking come at all. So whoever you're getting involved with or you are involved with today, you know your current relationship is different from every other situationship and relationship you've had. And this is probably the guy and the girl that you want to end your life with, married or fucking committed. And the world knows about your girl. The world knows about your man. And nobody can speak on fucking them. And that's the relationship you and I deserve. Because bear in mind, for all these years, if you could be the man that you are, be the woman that you are with a man and a woman who was one for all, who never wanted a relationship, if you can give something to someone who didn't want shit from you, who didn't give you shit back, so that's the level of love. That's the level of commitment, the integrity, honesty you have. So if you can give that to a person who didn't give you shit, imagine how much you can give to a person who's ready to pour back into you, who's ready to pour back all of that you give them multiplied. Imagine when a giver gets with a giver instead of a fucking incubus, succubus energy who only takes. And if today you and I are single, or taken, but if taken the time to be with ourselves, we've realized the importance of it and how important it is for a man to give back, pour back everything we pour into him, how important it is for a woman to pour back into the man everything that he's giving to her equally. You guys want to talk about equality, about men and women? Talk about equal reciprocity in relationships when it comes to fucking emotions. Let's not have double standards when it comes to what a man should do, what a woman should do, when it comes to the fake materialistic levels of things. Let's talk about emotions. Let's talk about reciprocity. Let's talk about integrity and loyalty and love. And let's uphold that. And let's find partners who fucking understand what that means. And that is 10%. And if that means you being by yourself, you'd rather do that than be with a fucking incubus and succubus energy who doesn't give you shit. Because if you are not your best version physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, while you are with a man or a woman, what's the point of having them as a partner? If he is not adding on to you as a person that you are today, if she's not adding on to you as a person that you are today, if you guys are one full individual just coming together, not a half and half coming together. It's one full person finding another full person. And if they can't fucking identify you in a crowd full of bitches and dudes, fuck them. They're not your man. She's not your woman. And you don't need to give them nothing. Today, if you are in a relationship where you're not getting back what you're putting in, please get the fuck out. Because that man don't deserve you. That woman don't deserve you. And bear in mind, these men and these women will never give you the closure you deserve. You and I today are still in a place where we give it all to a man, give it all to a woman, we still didn't get the respect, the closure, the fucking apology we deserved, did we? So let it be.